Hey, 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 hey. What up, everybody? Welcome to Slightly Biased Live, Slightly Biased Live show, Slightly Biased Live. What naming? We'll work on the name. We'll work on the name. But I want to start every weekday the Mavericks don't play. I want to start doing live day streams where we can just talk about anything, not even just NBA related, but pretty much anything NBA related. Doesn't always have to be the Mavericks. Today it is going to be the Mavericks, though, but they're one of the most talked about teams in the league currently. So, you know, they're a hot topic. So we're gonna talk about them. I have a hacky segment that everybody who's ever talked about the NBA has done, but I don't give a fuck. I want to do it as well. Contenders and Pretenders, which ties in pretty nicely to the Mavericks stuff. So there you go. But anyways, let's get into it. Let's talk about some stuff coming around going on around the league, the NBA. Woj just tweeted this 10 minutes ago. Woj just tweeted 10 minutes ago that there's some optimism that Steph Curry will return sometime on next week's 3-game road trip. Which would mean he's back for the Mavericks game, right? Which would mean he's back for the Mavericks game, which is hilarious. But yeah, here's my stance on this. I was actually thinking about this earlier today, so I'm happy this got mentioned because I wanted to talk about something. If we go look at the standings, right? Obviously, the Western Conference standings, they change at a moment's notice. You see the Mavericks are now currently in a play-in spot, right? Fortunately, the Jazz lost last night. Otherwise, I think they would be lower. But either way, they are half a game back of the Clippers, half a game back of the Warriors, a game and a half back of the Suns. So if we're just talking about the postseason seeding and everything for the Dallas Mavericks, in my opinion, you're not catching the Phoenix Suns, right? So you're going to be behind them. You're now 5 games back of the Kings. You're not catching them at this point. So you're behind them. So in my opinion, the highest you can get is 5th, right? But you have to be ahead of the Warriors before they get Steph Curry back. Otherwise, you're not catching them either. So you're now running this risk of fighting for the 6th seed with the Clippers the rest of the season. Logan, $5 slate. I want you to get personal today. Let it all out, my friend. Tell us how you really feel. Don't hold anything back. Oh, don't worry. I will. So yeah, I think that they're trending in the wrong direction. Thank you, Logan. They're trending in the wrong direction. They're in legit danger of not just being a play-in team, right? Which, honest to God, seems like a foregone conclusion at times. But you're only 2 games up on the Trailblazers, 2.5 games up on the Lakers. You got another game against the Lakers that's going to decide the tiebreaker there, but in that series, the Blazers, I believe, have the tiebreaker over you, right? If the Mavs are playing, it doesn't matter missing the playoffs. I don't love their chances in a playing game. That just seems like a game the Mavericks lose. Does that not? I'm going to tweet out that I'm live, and we're going to get into the shits. Just gonna briefly talk about the Mavericks. Just the way that I view them, the way that I see them, sleeping on last night's game, and how I feel about this now, about the team after sleeping on it a little bit. Let me tell you, not much has changed. Talking about the Dallas Mavericks. Unfortunately. Just spelled unfortunately so wrong. Put spell checks, therefore. Talking about the Dallas Mavericks, unfortunately. Are they done for? Or is there still hope? Also doing contenders and pretenders in the NBA. I am live now. Get in here. Boom, boom. That easy. That easy, guys. It's that easy to tweet. What about Kyrie tweet? Did this happen in the last 10 minutes? Chop wood, carry water 2 hours ago? Is that what you're talking about? Sorry, the Mavs have 18 games left. How many do you think they win realistically? I think they probably finish 9-9, maybe 10-8, maybe 8-10. Like that's really where they're at. They're just a mediocre ass team. That's just how I feel about them. They're a mediocre ass team at this point. First and foremost, before we get into it, I mentioned something last night how, you know, if I'm going to sit here and I'm going to berate Luka and how he needs to be in shape more, I got to get in shape myself. Okay? So, because of that, I'm starting the Slightly Slim Challenge. By now, in the end of the season, which is what? I'm counting playoffs. Which is what? 2 months? 3 months? 2 months? 3 months? See how much weight I can trim. So here we go. Day one. Probably once a week. I'm not gonna weigh myself every day. I don't think that's a healthy way of losing weight. 03 1 23. My weight right now, I'm gonna be open and honest with you guys. 252. 252 is my weight. It's not the heaviest I've ever been, but it's up there. It's up there. This is actually, even whenever I'm like kind of in shape a little bit, this is sort of where I'm at anyways. It's just weird. It's like whenever I'm in shape and I'm working out a lot, like my legs are just fucking massive. I will never have skinny legs, knock on glass, unless I get sick. Definitely never happens. Right? But it's just like, I don't know what it is. Even when I'm in shape, I literally weigh the same as when I'm not in shape. It's very strange. I'm a little bit lucky in that regard. Because admittedly, my diet has been absolute trash over the last like 3 months. So I got to figure it the fuck out. How tall are you? I'm 6'3". So I think if you plug that into the BMI shit, I'm like morbidly obese. But I'm not morbidly obese. All right. That's a little bit aggressive. Like the Google, hold on, let me look. Body mass index calculator. Calculate your body mass index. Six feet, 3 inches, 252. Compute. 31. I'm obese. So there you have it. I'm morbidly obese. No, those BMI trackers be bugging, ruining my self-esteem. Yeah, no. Like, okay, so, like a few years ago, I lost a fuck ton of weight. Like 50, 60 pounds. And the reason why I started is I did one of those, just like fucking around, and it said I was morbidly obese. And that was like this shocking moment for me. But anyways, yeah. I feel like once a week, Once a week, I'll check in on this. I also want to ask. Top 100 players list. It's almost done. It's almost completed. How would you guys want that? Do you guys want that as a stream? Do you guys want that as a stream or slightly obese? Do you guys want that as a stream or as a video? A stream would be like a 4-hour stream. A video would be a little over an hour. A stream series? Like what? Top 50? Break it up. Stream series. All right. That actually makes my life much easier. Like, streaming is way easier than editing a big video. So that actually makes me happy. Okay. A lot to talk about. I'm gonna get into the Mavericks and how I feel about them, how angry I am at them, for sure. We're gonna go over all that stuff. First, we gotta talk about Kendrick Perkins, and I really don't want to fucking talk about this guy at all. You guys know how I feel about ESPN and all of these shows. They are horrible. They are terrible. I don't even know if I'm allowed to watch this, but these shows are absolutely awful. Paul with the $5 donation. Protein shake on me. All right, Paul. First and foremost, I just want to start by saying this. Kendrick Perkins is horrible. He's got to be one of the worst TV personalities we've had, maybe ever. Just somebody who won. If I'm just being real, right? If I'm watching TV and I'm listening to somebody speak, I want to be able to fully understand what they're saying. Just a lot of the times I don't even know what he's saying. But also, too, nobody on television rambles on and on and on and on about literally fucking nothing more than Kendrick Perkins. Every time I see a 5-minute clip of him, which this one is, and I watch the whole thing, I'm like, wait, did he just say a single thing? Like, did he just say a single thing, or was it just like weird metaphors and like country sayings the entire time? It's absolutely horrible. It's awful. And this just goes to show, I've said this a million times, ESPN does not give a fuck about you. They do not care about the quality of the work that they put out. They know that your dumbass is going to watch, and because of that, they don't care. Like, they literally shoved Kendrick Perkins down her throat. Just think about that. Remember whenever Kendrick Perkins first started going on First Take and all these ESPN shows, everyone was like, what the hell is Kendrick Perkins doing here? He's horrible. Nobody wants to listen to this shit. And now he's like the face of their NBA coverage. I'm not kidding. Kendrick Perkins has become literally the face of ESPN's NBA coverage. It is embarrassing what they are doing over there. It is so fucking embarrassing. JJ Redick too. Here's the funny thing about the JJ Redick on ESPN stuff, right? JJ Redick goes on these shows and he follows up Kendrick Perkins, Stephen A. Smith, Mad Dog 2020, whatever the hell that guy's name is. He follows up those guys who say the most bad shit, insane thing of all time. They'll go on and they'll be like, yeah, LeBron's the leading scorer of all time, but like, is he actually a good scorer? Are we sure he's even a good scorer? And JJ Redick will go on and be like, come on, guys, this is ridiculous. Yeah, he's a good scorer. And because JJ Redick said something that's not the stupidest fucking thing you've ever heard, everybody loses their shit. JJ Redick's just going on there and saying normal things. He's not saying anything profound. He's not saying anything that has been said a million times already. He's literally going on there and just saying normal things. And because it's so out of left field for ESPN to do something like that, everyone loses their shit. Yeah, Mad Dog Russo. Is Bob Cousy better than Steph Curry? Or it'll just be like, yeah, Steph Curry, probably not, like Larry Bird's maybe the better shooter than Steph Curry. And JJ Redick's like, come on, let's get fucking serious for 1 second. Everyone's like, oh, JJ Redick is a genius. It's like, oh, no. Everyone else is just a huge dumbass. Mad Dog legit drunk on First Take. Washington Post article about Ja just dropped. Well, I did see one. I want to say this: Ja's shoes are great. The angle of the first leak I didn't like. You ever bet sports on Prize Picks, buddy? Of course I do. And if you're interested in signing up for Prize Picks, use code Slightly at sign up. They will match your first deposit up to $100, 100%. Skip is a lunatic, but I love Shannon. See, like, at least Skip and Shannon, it's Stephen A as well. Like, yeah, they say dumb shit, but they are entertaining. Like, I do, like, those three are, I don't watch their shows, but I'll see clips from time to time. And I'm like, you know what? These guys are pretty funny. Like, you know, Skip and Shannon, do they hate each other behind the scenes? I don't know, but they got pretty good chemistry, and it's pretty fun to watch. Stephen A can be pretty funny sometimes. Like, Kendrick Perkins is just awful. He's horrible. Like, Skip's hating is otherworldly to the point where it's, like, actually kind of funny. Build a franchise around Prime, Steph, or Bird. Ugh. Mad Dog Russo seems like ESPN tried to clone Skip after he left, but they did not have the complete genetic code. That really is what it is. That really is what it feels like. That's actually a good question. I mean, do I know everything I know now about how Larry Bird's career was a little bit shorter than it probably could have been because of injuries? It's really hard for somebody like me to answer that question. I've watched Steph my whole life, and I was not alive during Bird. Like, those questions are always going to be weird for people to answer. Like, I literally watched Steph Curry dominate a whole era of basketball when I was growing up. Not really growing up, but whenever I was young. Anyways, there's been this whole thing going on over the last week or so. Kendrick Perkins called Jokic a stat pattern. We talked about this briefly last night on stream, and how I think most guys are actually probably stat padding. I don't think that's that big of a deal. And I'm not watching this whole fucking thing, but there's one part of this that really got me going. Wait, what's the hidden reply? Oh my God. Why would you hide all of these?
The JV conversations out the way. Let's get to the varsity conversation. First of all, to Jokic, a hit dog will holler. Okay? And to JJ Redick, if we're going to slap box, at least allow me to be on TV.
Let me just pause. I'm fast forwarding to the Dirk part. Like, literally he says nothing. I don't even know what I know what his main point was in this 5-minute rambling about nothing. But you're like, I left this 5-minute video thinking this guy's a fucking idiot.
What do those guys?
Who are they?
It's only 3 guys. Why didn't he never bring up this in particular subject? When it comes down to guys winning MVP since 1990, it's only 3 guys that won the MVP that wasn't top 10 in scoring. Do you know who those 3 guys were?
Who are they?
Steve Nash, Jokic, and Dirk Nowitzki. No. What do those guys have in common? I'll let it sit there and marinate. You think about it. Now here's the thing.
So yeah, basically Kendrick Perkins is insinuating that Jokic, Steve Nash, and Dirk all won their MVPs because they were white. Which is just the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Again, but it's just like, what? Like, the ESPN just really does not give a fuck about their viewers. This is just so terrible of a product. It is horrible, man. And I like, they might be super short-sighted here. This gets a lot of clicks. Like, this already has 536,000 views, and this was posted 2 hours ago. But there's no long-term sustainability in this shit. Nobody wants to listen to this shit. One thing I hate is them pushing WNBA players analyzing NBA games like Candace Parker. Dude, Candace Parker is actually really good. Candace Parker is good. She's like on the TNT Tuesdays, the Inside the NBA B team. She's like the only one who's good. Shaq hates all of them. Jamal Crawford just don't think Jamal Crawford. I like Jamal Crawford a lot. Seems like a really good dude, but I just don't know if that's like his his thing. And the other dude, what's his name? The Ernie Johnson wannabe. Tristan Thompson sucks. That's what I'm saying. ESPN does not care. Lefko. Everyone hates Lefko. I think he's not terrible. I think he gets like a bad rep, but he's just not. It's a hard. Ernie Johnson is a hard act to follow. Okay. Oh boy, Rashad Phillips chiming in. We know it's gonna be a good take when Rashad Phillips is chiming in. John Morant news. All right. Let's look. Okay, what the hell just happened with the John Morant stuff? Whoa, the Washington Post reported that John Morant is being accused in police reports of beating up a 17-year-old boy and pointing a gun at him. Is there a story? Can I read the story in full? Okay. WAPO. You're kidding me. Well. Incognito mode? Does that actually work? Use no script to see athletic articles? I don't know if this is different from the story a month ago. Okay, here's before I even read this, what seems clear and obvious when it comes to John Morant? He needs to be around better people. Like, it feels obvious that he is around the wrong people. All right, the incognito hack did not work. How do you do non-script? God, I'm such a boomer when it comes to shit like this sometimes. Like readers mode? Oh, no script is an add-on? All right, I'm not doing all that. We'll just go off of what Twitter has to say. Can never go wrong doing that. According to the Washington Post, John Morant has been accused of violent, threatening behavior in 2 police reports. Morant allegedly threatened a mall security director, and Morant allegedly punched a teenage boy and later emerged from his house with a gun in his waistband. So I'm assuming that is the same one that came out, the lawsuit, and this is just a little bit more information. Apparently it's a news story. It's a new teenager he beat up. So did he point a gun at him or he run her? This shit is always funny to me. It's the same case. This cannot be a new separate instance of beating up a teenager. If so, this guy is a fucking menace. This is literally earlier today, John Morant. becomes the first athlete sponsored by Powerade in 5 years. The new part of the story is the gun being involved. The gun being stolen? Wait, okay. When the story first broke, there wasn't like a gun, was there? Either way, man, like John Morant has like, what is he, 22? He's starting to get a little bit too old for this shit. You know, like this is some type. I mean, obviously this isn't acceptable behavior. He's 23 now. This isn't acceptable behavior at any age, really. But you know, 19, 20, 21. It's just like, all right, you know, let's some growing up to do. 23 going on 24. It's like, all right, man. Like you're a mega millionaire. Like when it comes to life, you have hit the lottery. Like let's not fuck this up by doing dumb shit. Okay, this is just completely avoidable behavior here. Luka doing something like this would be insane for a lot of different reasons. But John Morant just seems to me like he needs to be around better people. That's just what it seems like. He has enough money to not see any human he doesn't want to see. You can't be caught doing dumb shit like this. I agree. Like there's no like what's the best outcome of doing any of this shit? Like you look kind of cool. I don't know. I feel like there's been a lot of people, like even like Grizzlies people I've said before, like I've heard on podcasts, that they just need they feel like they need another like legit vet with some gravitas to bring into the equation that's going to have like a legit sway on the young guys. I don't know. There's been so much Jaw stuff this year, man. Unfortunate. Really, it is. What is this, like the third or fourth time? The third or fourth thing this year? Locked On was saying Luka's not our leader and JB and Dorian Finney-Smith were leaders last year. You buying that? No, I'm not buying that. And here's why. I've said this a million times. Luka, I don't think Luka wants to be a leader. It doesn't seem like he wants to be like the leader, so to say. But as the best player, you are the de facto leader. So he is the leader of the team. This is why I get so mad at him whenever he sulks around the fucking court. Because it's like you are the leader of the team. The team goes as you go. John Morant clearly isn't a very mature person and is obviously young and stupid. I just think he's needs to be around better people, it seems like. I mean, you like when you're in your early 20s, late teens, the people you surround yourself with are going to have a very big impact on your life. I'm not going to say Ja is dumb. Is this another separate instance for Ja? No, I don't think so. I think it's the same one, but there's more details. All right, anyways. I mean, I don't know. Wake me up when something actually happens from this. I don't know what to tell you. This is... The mall director of security is a new thing, I'm pretty sure. Pointing a gun at a 17-year-old is fucking crazy. Anyways. All right, Dallas Mavericks. If we just look at the efficiency landscape across the league over the course of the entire season, the Mavericks are still somehow 9th in point differential. What? They're somehow still holding on. And they're 12th over the last 2 weeks. Their defense is 20th. 117 points per 100 possessions. Just absolutely terrible stuff. It's all coming crumbling down. I do have a PS5. Drill rap is my favorites. Okay, Kevin, I'm putting you in timeout. You're crossing some boundaries here. "19 games left. Do you believe they can string together 10 wins?" I do. I do think they could get like 10 wins or so, something along those lines. All right, but let me just So last night was another emotional loss, right? Mavericks coming off of a terrible loss on Sunday. You would like to think they would come out against a team that really they should have no problems with. 9-point favorites, home game. They would come out and they would take care of fucking business, right? No. They show up with absolutely no energy whatsoever. They get pushed around the start of the game. They find themselves down 10. And to their credit, the last 4 minutes or so of the game, they did do a pretty good job. They clamped up defensively. They got some good looks on offense, just didn't hit shots. But they dug themselves too deep of a hole. And once again, they shit themselves in an end-of-game scenario. To me, honestly, I feel like I've said this year, but last night really was it. That was kind of it for me. Like, I don't know. I'm just ready for this season to be over and done with at this point. I don't think this team is doing anything at all in the playoffs. Maybe they can sneak in and get a very favorable first-round matchup, and they win a series. Maybe. Right, but that's about it. I don't see a world in which they're competing with the Nuggets. I don't see a world in which they're competing with the Suns. I don't even know if I see a world in which they're competing with the Clippers, if I'm just being 100% honest with you. So it's disappointing to me. And maybe that was their ceiling the whole time, and it probably was, right? I was way higher on them than I probably should have been. I was way higher than I should have been. Nick shouted you out last night on Locked On. What did he say? I'm not going to lie. Whenever the Mavericks are struggling, I just avoid Mavericks content like the plague. Yeah, people are sleeping on the Sacramento Kings. Me and myself included. The Kings have won 4 in a row. They are like sneaky 2-seed potential here for the Kings. I thought for sure they were going to drop. I don't know why. I thought that they were going to drop. But that has not been the case. Logan, $2 donations. When the Mavs get punched in the mouth, they fold. Yeah, and that's really been my big problem with this team this year. There's no dog. There's no killer. There's nothing. This team just looks like basketball is a fucking chore for them. You know, every game I watch, when something's not going their ways, whether it's the officiating, whether it's, they're not hitting shots, whether it's the other team is hitting shots, it just feels like they fold immediately. There's been like maybe 1 or 2 instances this season. The Knicks game is an example, right? They look like utter shit. The Knicks game in New York. I mean, they look like utter shit the whole first half. And in the second half, they come out and look like a completely different team. And that game right there sparks it like a 7-game winning streak, whatever it was. And I mean, we've seen Luka have killer in him, last night he had some. That game against the Pistons when he got pissed off at one of their assistant coaches and went crazy. But it's just like, it's not there consistently. Yeah, Kyrie's been very passive. And there was this quote, and this just kind of ties back to Jason Kidd being a fucking moron. Kyrie had a quote. Grant Abseth, great follow. If you guys aren't following him on Twitter, you absolutely need to. Anyways, Grant Afseth posted this. Kyrie basically saying his dad texted him saying he needs to be more aggressive, which he's right. He does. Absolutely. I get where Kyrie's coming from, that he's on a new team, new teammates. He kind of wants to get acclimated. He wants to make sure everybody love Grant. Yeah, Grant's been great this season. Want to make sure everybody is playing well. But he does need to get more aggressive. But you know what? Kyrie's dad doesn't need to say this. Jason fucking Kidd needs to say this. Jason Kidd needs to pull Kyrie aside and say, hey, listen, man, I know, trust me, I get it. I was a point guard. I know you want to get everybody involved, right? You want to get acclimated. You don't want to overstep. You don't want to overstep any boundaries. But dude, we brought you in here to be the second star of the team. Like, take the game over, score, get to the rim, shoot, do whatever it is you need to do. These guys understand, right? These guys have spent the whole year sitting there and watching Luka carry them. Watching Luka drop 60 points just to win. They know what the fuck's going on. They know what the hell's going on. Go out there and dominate. But no, I don't even know. I honest to God don't know what Kid's doing. 100% that's what they told Dinwiddie after the trade last year. Yeah, like, come in, play your game. We brought you in to score. We brought you in to be Luka's second star. Like, we brought you in because you can go off. You can score 35 points a night. You could go off. You could score, 20 points in 10 minutes. Like, we know you can do all of this stuff. Nick quoted you on Have Some Pride. He was drinking beer and started giving a I love you all speech at the end. Maybe I'll go back and watch that. I mean, they are shameless. That's just really what it, like, there's no dog in this team whatsoever. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. But to me, this right here is the breaking point. I tweeted this out earlier, but this right here is absolutely the breaking point. This is the breaking point of it all. These on-off numbers right here. These on-off numbers. Luka Doncic, Josh Green, when they share the floor together, you see that it's down there. Out of all four possible scenarios between these two, Luka on the floor, Josh Green off. Josh Green on the floor, Luka off. Both players off. The two of them playing on the floor together is the least used a duo. How the fuck is that even possible? Huh? How is that even possible? How is it even possible these guys only have 490 minutes together this season? And look at the numbers. They are outscoring opponents by nearly 10 points when they're on the floor together. That is like top 3 team in the NBA levels. That is like domination. That is like dominating the opponent levels. Navs are barely a positive when Luka's on the floor without Josh Green. Obviously, with no Luka, they're negative. And he's been benched. He has been benched. Track name, 1983 by Ben Elson. I guess you can't fire a coach this far in a season. I mean, the Hawks just did. Hire Hollerball again. Is that where we're at? It really does. Somebody tweeted this to me. It does seem like it is what it is. The Harleyball Vargalis shit was such a nightmare that like the Mavericks just said, you know what? We're never doing analytics again. What coach would be better right now? I would rather have Vogel. Just straight up. I'd rather have Vogel. I'd rather have Ime. What up, LJ? Got to bench Green to get more senior citizens in the game. Is that what it is? Like, kids just, when Kid was in Dallas, he was in the twilight of his career. The second time, of course, he was in the twilight of his career. Maybe that's what it is, right? Maybe that's just he just resonates with the older guys. Quinn would have been nice too. Kenny Atkinson? If you want to keep Kyrie, you cannot have Kenny Atkinson. Nash, if you want to keep Kyrie, you cannot have Steve Nash. And I don't want Steve Nash anyways. Josh Green also brings energy and fits really well with Kyrie at their fast pace. Well, here's the thing, right? Justin Holiday, if you just look at the on-off numbers, very, very small sample size, only 65 minutes. The Mavericks have been much better, both offensively and defensively, when Justin Holiday's been on the floor. You know, it's not like his minutes have been terrible. But at Josh Green's expense. Sorry, what'd you eat for lunch? Oatmeal! I'm trying to stay healthy. And you know, I actually love oatmeal. So, I love oatmeal. Dan Tony, just say, fuck it. We're scoring. Our defense is going to suck anyways. Rick Brunson. Yeah, that would really show the Knicks. That would be hilarious. Oh, you want to steal Jalen Brunson from us? Fine. We're taking Rick Brunson from you. What do you think of them playing Green plus Holiday and benching Reggie if they seem so keen on Holiday? I wonder, part of me wonders if the logic here is Justin Holiday and Reggie Bullock, there's just no way those two guys would have any real impact without Luka on the floor, without like a legit playmaker on the court. Whereas like Josh Green at least, you know, can dribble and create some stuff himself. I wonder how much of it has to do with that. Even though the reality is there should be 0 minutes played in the game when one of Kyrie or Luka are not on the floor. I don't even care who the next coach is. I just want them to have at least 2 reliable ATOs. I don't know. I don't know if this the most. I've said this before, but like there was some stat. It was a while ago, so it might have changed. Where the Mavericks were like the second most efficient team out of timeouts. But obviously that includes the entire game and not just the final 10 seconds, of which they're probably the worst of all time. Grizzlies, John Morant accused of punching. No thanks, BR. Of punching the team 12 to 13 times? Oh, I thought he just like shoved him once. Jesus Christ, man. Ugh. Definite weirdo behavior. Would you trade Luka for Wemby and first rounders? How many first rounders are we talking? No, I'm just kidding. But I do think Wemby's gonna break the league. If he stays healthy, I think he's legitimately going to be like maybe a top 15 player immediately. But anyways, I'm looking at these numbers, right? I'm looking at these numbers. Numbers which are available to the team. Numbers which I'm assuming and hoping the team uses. The Josh Green, Luka Doncic duo. 9.6 net rating. Like, they're eviscerating opponents. And a 111 defensive rating. Like, every on-off number, every advanced metric says that Josh Green is one of the most impactful players on the team. Every on-off metric, every advanced stat shows that the defense is much better when Josh Green is on the floor. And the stats also say Josh Green is tremendous next to Luka Doncic. The team is like, Josh Green gets the most out of Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic gets the most out of Josh Green. Okay? So why the fuck are they not playing together more? And what message? Here's the big thing. What message are you sending to the players on the floor, the guys in the locker room, when you're saying, hey, this how old is Josh Green? 22? This young kid who has done everything we've asked, who has taken huge leaps, he's taken huge strides in his career. Every number shows that we are much better when he plays. But you know what? We're going to bench him. I'm only going to give him 20 minutes a night now. And I'm not going to let him close games. I'm going to inexplicably bench him. I know he's done everything we wanted him to do. I know he's improved tremendously as a player. And I know we're just way better when he's out there. I'm benching him for a guy we just brought in off the street. For a 3-and-D guy, we just brought in off the street who got pawned off of a middling-ass team who needs both 3 and D. They just gave him away for literally nothing. But we're going to bring him in, give him one singular game, and now he's starting over Josh Green, who by a lot of advanced numbers has been our third best player this entire season, if you want to include Kyrie Irving. That is the genius of Jason Kidd, ladies and gentlemen. That is the genius of this man. You really, it's 4D chess. Like, literally, what message are you sending? I don't use stats. I'm watching the game like you. Yeah, pretty much. Bro, bench him and show him he's not above the team. I don't know how. I don't care how good you are. That's what he's doing. You know, I really think it's partially like Kid can't see the fucking forest through the trees. Can't see the forest for the trees. Like, I think he has such an ego problem. This, as an outsider, this is what it looks like to me. As an outsider, this is what it looks like. Oh my God, Ja, what is wrong with this guy? Did you see what Mavs Outsiders had to say about Christian Wood? They might be trying to take his value and retain him for cheap. I saw that. I didn't listen to it. But do they have a source? That just does not sound... That doesn't make any sense to me at all. I don't think they like him. And I think it stops right there. It ends right there. I mean, you guys know how I feel about Christian Wood, right? I think that there are times, like the Lakers game, if he's playing really well, great. Keep him out there. If he's not playing well, get him off the floor. That's simple. Like, can you tell me everything's going to be okay? No, I can't. But, like, I don't understand. Free agent, you're going to tank his value? And then what? Hope that he signs with you again? I don't understand that logic. It would make sense for, like, a restricted free agent, maybe. What lineups would you play as a new head coach? Luka, Kyrie, Josh Green, pick Reggie or Justin Holiday and Maxey. That is probably your best starting five right there. That's probably your best 5-man rotation right there. Reggie or Justin Holiday. And you know what? Both of those guys, you could just, hey, whoever's hitting their shots tonight is closing the game. Yeah, maybe Christian Wood if he's having a good game. They should get OG. Yeah, that would be nice. Hoping we can sign and trade Wood somehow and get a few second rounders. I said this weeks ago. Christian Wood's going to be playing on the mid-level exception somewhere, and I believe that still to this day. Like, let's put the $19 million a year talks. Like, that. Those are so far out of sight, it feels like right now. He's gonna be on the MLE somewhere. And God bless him. Christian Wood is taking Kevin Love minutes for the MLE. I mean, I don't really like piling on, but I saw a pretty funny tweet. Somebody was saying Christian Wood's going to be starting somewhere, and somebody replied, yeah, he's going to be starting in Charlotte next year until the Hornets realize Nick Richards is better than him. And it's just like, yeah, you know, that's probably maybe right. Why did Wood walk out of the game yesterday? I don't know. Did anything ever come of that? Gonna be on the Trailblazers, sadly. I could see them going after him. Free throws have always been a problem, man. Like what? This is, I mean, that wasn't even really talked about. The Mavericks missed 10 plus free throws in a game they lost by 2 points. Nice to see real centers coming back into play in the NBA. Sucks that we don't really have any. What side is that? The one with the on-off calculator? This is P by P stats. PBP stats, play-by-play stats. They got a bunch of different shit. It's kind of hard. Like the it's kind of difficult to get used to, but then you go to on-off. This is wowie combinations, and then you could just play with it from there. Are you talking about this? This is PBP stats, which is free to use completely. And this is cleaning the glass, which is like $5 a month, I think, but it's definitely worth it. I like their stuff a lot. Them in dunks and threes, which gives you EPM and stuff like that, which I absolutely love. I think it's up there for one of the best advanced stats. Up there for one of the best advanced stats. Which if we just go look at it, Luka has been the second best player this year by a lot of different metrics. No longer for a long time he was the best offensive player in the league by a lot, but now it's Dame and even Dame. Yeah, wow, look at that. They actually recently just updated this site like last night. Listen, the Jokic stat padding thing, fucking nonsensical. I think every player stat pads to a degree. But also, I will say this to like the people saying Jokic never stat pads. Dude, Jokic stat padded against the Mavericks. Like I witnessed it firsthand. That game right before All-Star break, Jokic stat padded hard. The Mavs want away players gonna have to be Frank and Theo. Frank is the clear and obvious number one. Stat pad, or not stat pad, Jesus. Wave candidate. Tatum stat pads too. Luka has stat pad. Like everyone stat pads. You know, it happens. How cheap do you think Jonathan Isaac would be? Listen, if let's say the Magic luck out and get the #1 overall pick and presumably draft Wemby, I could definitely see Isaac being available because they would just have too many forwards. Like obviously you're keeping Franz, obviously you're keeping Paolo. Now you're adding Wemby into the mix. That's just like one too many guys, it feels like. Jonathan Isaac is a bad vibes player. I think he's another one of these, like, obviously him and Kyrie probably believe completely different things. But is he one of these guys where it's like, you know, NBA Twitter is like weirded out by him, but like the players love him? Have teammates ever said anything bad about him? Magic will just play 5-4 to once. I mean, they could do that. Who would you have, Kyrie or SGA for one season? Oh my God, SGA easily. Easily. Breaking news: Powell signs 10-year max $1 billion deal. I need you guys to understand he's going to be a member of the Mavericks next year. Like, just it's happening, okay? I would rather have a victim of propaganda on my team than someone that spreads it willingly. It's funny because depending on like depending on your beliefs, you could be talking about either player. I love you too, Poet. Do I think Dorian Finney-Smith is back next year? Probably not, no. Powell belongs on the team as an athletic trainer. All right, anyways, like, I just think defensively, I mean, it's been said a million times, man. I don't see how this gets fixed between now and the end of the season. And it's just, you're not going to win games this way. So it just really kind of boils down to that. I mean, Jonathan Isaac is a propaganda spreader. Anyone partnering with Daily Wire is smart enough to know how evil what they're doing is. Okay. That's what I assumed you were saying. And I do agree. Daily Wire is fucking scum of the earth. But hey, man. We're not running a Boy Scout troop here. Okay? Can you look at DP stats for statistics? I mean, what do you want to look at? What do you want to look at? Dwight Powell's stats and statistics. According to EPM, he's a positive player. Pretty much every one of these metrics will say Dwight Powell's a positive player. That's the thing. Dwight Powell, Mavericks are 5.4 points per 100 possessions better when he's on the floor. Defensively, they're better somehow. Offensive rebounding, they're much better. Let's see here, Powell. Look at this. Mavericks have a 6 net rating. That's an 8-point swing. An 8-point swing when Dwight Powell's off the floor. I think this really just goes to show. This is, you had the Chris Paul effect on centers, where Chris Paul was going to get centers paid, right? This is the Luka effect on centers. Like, Luka, you put Luka alongside anybody who's close to 7 feet tall, and he's going to make them look somewhat good, right? Now, imagine if that was an actual good center. And stats and statistics are overrated. Well, there's always context, right? There's always context. We know that pretty much all of Dwight Powell's minutes come with Luka Doncic. So it has more so to do with Dwight Powell sharing the floor with Luka. Oh my God, Dwight Powell without Luka is actually a positive. This is a shocking development. I mean, listen, the harsh reality is the Mavericks defensively are way worse when Luka's on the floor. Like, really, like, way worse. Obviously, offensively, they're great. They're much better. Yeah, Dwight Powell's always been, especially before his Achilles injury, was like one of the best role men in the entire NBA. Stats are just numbers. You have to apply knowledge to them. Being against statistics is such a strange position to me because just being anti-fractions. Yeah, I mean, stats tell you a lot. Okay, like, for example, this is why if you go look at on-off stuff, right? This will get you in trouble if you say this to some Nuggets fans. But if you just look at on-off numbers for the Nuggets, they're fucking insane. In fact, if we head over to the leaderboards here, if we head to on-off numbers, these take a long time to load because there's like 1,000 players. If we look at the biggest on-off splits in the NBA. Oh, would you look at that? Jokic number 1. But look how many Denver Nuggets players are in the top 10, top 15. Michael Porter, Aaron Gordon, KCP, Jokic. Wow, that's their whole fucking starting 5 pretty much, right? And there's Michael Porter right there. Oh, wait, I already said Michael Porter. Where's Jamal Murray? He's got to be up here somewhere. There's Jamal Murray right there. So the Nuggets' top 5 are all in the 90th percentile or higher. Which goes to show, I mean, they're incredible when those 5 are on the floor together. Right? So, but let me just preface this by saying this. The Nuggets are an incredible team when those 5 are on the floor together, and that's what really matters. But the reason why those on-off numbers are so batshit insane Head over to this number right here. Percentage of possessions by numbers of starters on the floor. Where is Denver? Denver. Oh, here they are. They play with 5 starters on the floor, more than any other team in basketball. They play with 0 starters on the floor, 7th most, which is actually, you know, an improvement for them. And only 1 starter on the floor, more than any other team in basketball. So this is really what it is. This has a lot to do with it. They run these 5-man rotations more than any team in basketball. And that's been true, like Jokic's entire tenure. If we just go like the last 4 years. I mean, look at this. 37% of the time. 5 starters on the floor. 0 starters on the floor 10% of the time. That's the most in the league. Why is having a 5-man rotation a critique? It's not necessarily a critique. I'm just shining some light as to why the on-off numbers are so fucking insane for Jokic. Dude, this is an insane number right here. Like, you look at all the on-off stuff for Jokic, and it's absolutely shocking. And it's because Jokic is fucking amazing, right? It's because Jokic is amazing, and you have to give him props. Like, when those 5 are on the floor, they're like the best lineup in the NBA. So it's not saying they're bad. They're still incredible. But this is partially why Jokic's on-off numbers are so crazy, is because the Nuggets rarely ever, or at least compared to other NBA teams, stagger minutes. You know, most teams will stagger minutes, so they got guards playing, you know, they got their guys playing with bench players and shit like that, which will really kind of mess with the on-off numbers. It's not really a critique. It's more so like a better understanding. By the way, what's your afternoon stream schedule? I'm pretty much thinking any weekday the Mavericks aren't playing. I would have a more concise schedule, but I don't want to stream twice a day, like 2 times in one day. That's weird. Can you give me your quick, no deep analysis ranking on Jaylen Brown? I have him at 12 or 13. I think I have him closer to 20, to like plus 20. I don't know. I feel like if I'm just going off this season, I'm trying to remember exactly where he was in my top 100. Let me just look at it without showing you guys, because I don't want to spoil anything. All right, so here's what I'm thinking. Tomorrow the Mavericks play. There's no fucking way I play softball. I'll stream that. Friday I'm going to do a top 100 primer. My top 100 list will be done. It will be complete. I've got Jaylen Brown in the 20s. I just think there's some guys ahead of him who have been better just this year. Maybe all of us Mavs fans should hop on the bandwagon and go for the Nuggets. I can't root for another player or another team. Has your number one changed? Yes. It has. It has changed. It has changed, unfortunately. Well, here's my thing. Like, I want to keep up with this top 100 list. So this is like the first edition of my top 100 list, and I'm wanting to change it as the season goes on. Maybe we revisit it like at the end of the season, at the end of the playoffs, you know. But I'll just continuously update this. This is mainly why I wanted to do a new one, so I could just have one to build off of moving forward. Those 2 games right after the Kyrie trade where Josh and Jaden both went off for 29, and then Kyrie game where Reggie made 3 threes in the first quarter was the first time I felt excited. Yeah. That's the thing about this Mavs team, man. They'll fucking string you along. They will string you along. Like you'll get excited about something and everything will feel great for a small fraction of time before it all inevitably comes crashing down to the ground in a burning fucking flame. And it's also too like I was like kind of done. Like I was kind of all right. This is who this team is. Whatever. I'm accepting of that. Then the Kyrie trade happened, and they won those first 2 games without Luka. And then the expectations were up here. Like Maxey wasn't even back yet. The expectations were up here. Like we still had the trade deadline at that point. I was 100% certain they were going to do something at the trade deadline. And then fast forward 2 weeks, it's probably lower than it's ever been this season, at least. But a package of 2025 and 2027 first and Bertans and Tim for Hield and Turner makes sense for Indiana? Probably not. I think they're going to try to be competitive next year. I don't really want Cat, to be honest with you. I don't think he really solves anything you need. I mean, offensively, you'd still be incredible, but we don't really, assuming Kyrie stays, we don't need like a Kevin Love on offense, essentially, which is what Cat would turn into. I just want to see Phoenix and Memphis get waxed in the postseason. I'm interested to see how Phoenix looks tonight. Okay. Let's do this segment and then I'll get out of here. Not gonna stream that long today. But I am doing the hacky bit. Contender or pretender. We are, what, 20 games left in the season? Less than that for most teams. We have a pretty good idea of who's legitimately a championship contender, who is not a championship contender at this point in the season. Slightly fake, slightly serious. These are the bad teams. You're wondering why the fuck I have this many teams? I get yelled at every time I bring up contenders and I don't mention a team or two. So, you know what? Just to make everybody happy, we're going to talk about all the fucking teams, okay? All the teams that aren't tanking are going to get talked about, all right? So, we have all of these teams. Actually, you know what? No, I'm not doing that. Add a row above. Adding these teams so their fans don't yell at me, but they're not contenders. That'll be a tier in of itself. Teams that obviously aren't contenders, but I just want to add them so their fans are like, dude, where the fuck are the Timberwolves? JaVale's is minus 17 on off. Like, let's put the Wizards here, obviously. Hawks, do we even want to discuss them at all in more detail? Let's put the Jazz here, obviously. Let's put the Bulls here. Let's put the Raptors here. Let's put the Thunder here. Pains me to say. Let's put the Nets here. Obviously, they're not contenders. And I'll put the Hawks here too. Like, let's be serious. They're not contenders. The rest of these teams, I think, have at least a conversation. Right? Would you guys agree? No. I got screamed at by Wolves fans. So, you know what? I'm putting them out elsewhere. Thunder are low-key serious. Unfortunately, now that Shea has missed 2 games in a row, I don't think now 3 games in a row, I don't think I can go there with them anymore as much as I actually do want to. I do want to go there with them, but unfortunately I can't. Portland? Okay. Right. I was mainly going to do Portland because Dame's been so fucking good, but yeah, they're not serious. How did they lose last night, by the way? How did the Blazers lose last night? That was a shocking loss. They got throttled in the second half. I like that you could Google phone numbers that call you and it'll tell you if it's a scam or not. I love that. I love that for us. All right. Here we go. Mavs do probably belong in that tier. But listen, I'm a Mavericks fan, so 76ers. They're serious as it fucking gets. Now listen, here I'm of the belief, I think that the East is actually maybe a little bit more open than people think. And there's going to be a team coming up that maybe it's recency bias. Maybe I'm a prisoner of the moment. But I could see them actually doing things. Okay? Now what do I mean by serious, slightly fake? Can I see a world in which the Sixers pull off 3 straight series wins? Yes, I can. That's just pretty much it. Do I need like a lot of convincing for you to be a winner of 3 straight series? If the answer is yes, then I don't think you're really serious. But Philly definitely has the potential to come out the East this year. I know they always fold in the postseason, trust me. Harden always does. Embiid is always injured with some crazy as fuck injury. Like, Joel Embiid's eye is popping out of socket after getting hit in the face last night. He's out for the rest of the postseason. Like, really freak injuries that you can't really blame him for, but just the reality is he's hurt all the time. Harden, we already know his postseason resume. And Doc Rivers, we know his postseason resume too, carried by the big 3 in Boston, but outside of that, just incredibly fraudulent. So, all of that, yes. Yeah, his tummy injury, that's right. Embiid had tummy aches that made him miss 2 games. So, because of that, I'm scared of them. I'm scared of them if I'm like a Sixers fan or somebody has like money on the Sixers. I'm worried about that, but they're fucking good, man. Embiid is so good. Harden is also so good. And this gets brought up all the time. Like, you would think at some point Harden would just luck into a good playoff run. Like, Harden is such a talented player. At some point, law of averages, he's got to just like luck into a good run, right? Embiid's got to luck into like a healthy postseason run where he's good at some point or another. But defensively, they're really good. When Embiid's on, he's unstoppable. They're a serious contender. Absolutely. The Cleveland Cavaliers. Defensively, they're as serious as it gets. Mobley, Jarrett Allen in a playoff series. I love that. That's going to be incredibly tough. Mobley can stick anybody. Worried about DG. Worried about Donovan Mitchell. Backcourt in a playoff series. I've seen Donovan Mitchell's defense in a postseason series. Offensively, I like those two. Really wish they got a wing. I'll circle back to the Cavs. Bucks, obviously. We don't even need to talk about that. What is it? 15 straight wins. They're the best team in the league. Giannis is unbelievable. Drew Holiday is fucking awesome. I think I actually have Drew Holiday in my top 20. Just in terms of this season play. Oh, no, I don't. He's right on the outside. I'm going to have to change that. But he's been absolutely unbelievable. Brook Lopez has been great. I think he's a completely, totally fake defensive player of the year. The 3rd best defender on his own team. So I don't think he should really be anywhere close to winning that award. But it seems like he's going to be 2nd. But anyways, Milwaukee, we know who they are. Don't need to spend too much time. Mavericks, they're fake as fuck. Absolutely. Could they win 1 playoff series? Yes, they could win 1 playoff series. 3? No. They're not winning 3 playoff series in the Western Conference. No chance at all, right? I would like to say, if you were to ask me this question right after the Kyrie trade, yeah, obviously they are serious contenders. If you were to ask me this question in the offseason, I would say they're serious contenders only because I've said this a million times. I'll continue to say it because it is true. If you have Luka Doncic on your team, you always have a shot because he will probably be the best player on the floor in any playoff series. 1, because he's like a top 4 player in the world regardless, but also 2, he has been a playoff riser each of his first 3 trips to the playoffs. He's been unbelievable in the postseason. But outside of that, they're not good enough defensively. There's no way there's ever been a team in NBA history who has done anything in the playoffs with a defense this fucking bad. And they don't have rebounding. Those are the things that killed them last year against the Warriors. Guess what? They didn't fix it. So they're fake. Nuggets obviously are serious contenders. West is wide open though. You'll notice that I'm going to put a lot of West teams up here. They're serious. The Nuggets are. There's a bunch of defensive concerns, but offensively they're amazing. Listen. if you want to sit here and tell me, if you wanted to put the Nuggets in slightly fake, and your reasoning was, oh, I have to see Jokic like do it in a playoff series. I have to see Jokic not be like a complete and total defensive liability in a postseason series for me to really buy in. I wouldn't blame you. I wouldn't blame you. But they're obviously the best team in the West. Very serious contender. Best team in the West record-wise. I got to see how the Suns look. Grizzlies. They're fake to me. They are fake. I know they're the 2 seed. I don't care. They're fake. Why are they fake? Why are they fake? Their offense, their half-court offense, their offense in crunch time is horrific. It is so bad. I don't see it getting better. Dylan Brooks is just the ultimate green light. Is going to shoot like they're going to lose a game. They're going to lose at least 1 game, maybe even 2 this postseason because Dylan Brooks has absolutely shot them out of games. So I don't see them winning 3 straight series in the West. They're also just really young to me still. You know, they're still really young to me. No, I don't even have a problem with Ja. Like, Ja's not the one I'm really that concerned about. They're a young team. They're not good in the half court. They're way too reliant on Steven Adams, who, you know, is a good player, but also like the type of player who sometimes gets played off floors in the postseason. They're fake to me. They just are. I don't know. Do I think that they realistically have a chance to beat the Nuggets? No, not really. Like, if these two teams met, if I'm the Mavericks and I get the Grizzlies in round 1, I'm actually feeling okay. Like, I would rather see them than the Suns, obviously. I'd rather see them than the Clippers. The Mavericks are honestly closer to this tier than the Grizzlies to me. I'm just being honest. Timberwolves are obviously fake. The only reason why I even put them here and not here is because Timberwolves fans screamed at me on Twitter like a week ago whenever I said that I like mentioned a bunch of teams and said, oh, at least 4 of these teams aren't making it out of the first round. And I didn't have the Timberwolves in there because, I don't know, it wasn't an intentional thing. And Timberwolves fans found it and freaked the fuck out. But obviously they're fake. I don't really need to go any further. Clippers are serious. Absolutely. Absolutely. So much about this team is unserious. The constant minute restrictions. The resting guys. A lot of Ty Lue's decision making. The fact that they were really adamant on going after Russell Westbrook, even though Terrence Mann's been really fucking good. And now Terrence Mann's taking a back seat. But Kawhi is playing at a level. This is crazy to even say because there was times when people thought he was the best player in the world. But Kawhi is playing at a level that he might never have been at in his career. Like, he might be playing the best basketball of his life currently. But they're serious. We have seen as Mavericks fans with our own 2 eyes what Kawhi Leonard can do in the playoffs. They are as serious as it fucking gets as long as he is on that team. Yeah, the Bones situation is funny. I just thought it was funny. You knew he was going to keep going after the Nuggets, and he was just kind of all right. And after every basket, he was like, yeah, yeah. Bones is hilarious to me. I think he's a fun player to watch, although I wouldn't want to watch him on my team. If that makes sense. Does that make... I wouldn't want to watch Bones play basketball for my team, but I like watching him on other teams. Their center rotation is as good as it's ever been, too. Yeah, that's true. They got a legit backup center. And Plum Dog. Clippers are fake. I don't think this team can play 28 straight games without one of Kawhi and PG getting injured. That's obviously the big concern. But if they're healthy, you know, it kind of goes back to the Sixers thing, too, where it's like, hey, you know what? At some point, this Clippers team, law of averages, they got to just, like, luck into a healthy postseason run, right? Like, the bubble, they were healthy, unless my memory's fucked up, and they just choked. Suns, obviously serious. They're obviously very serious. Haven't seen them yet with KD, but KD is, like, probably the best plug-and-play superstar the league has. And they've been winning games recently without him. What are they? 6-4 in their last 10, but they've been really, really good as of late. Let me just see across the league. Suns are injury prone. They're injury prone. Or even is Phoenix? Oh, over the last 2 weeks, they're actually not very good. All right, but they're still adding Kevin Durant to the mix. Need I say more? There are some depth issues. They're injury prone. They have some depth issues. One injury, and it feels like they might be fucked. But if I'm putting the Clippers in here, if I'm putting the Sixers in here, I have to put the Suns in here. Like, if they're healthy, I just have a hard time imagining them losing before the finals. Kings, I'm not going to lie. I really want to put the Kings in series, but they're just too green. They're too green. Their defense isn't good enough. I don't trust Sabonis in a playoff environment. I have to see it to believe it with him. And for young teams, usually how it goes, you got to take some bumps and bruises before you're really ready to compete. Would be a fun series. I don't want to see them in a playoff series. Everyone's going to be rooting for them. Their home court, if they keep home court advantage in round one, like that's going to be an absolutely insane home court advantage. But as it stands right now, not yet. The Knicks. I want to put the Knicks in series so bad. I don't want to be a prisoner of the moment, though. But over the last, I mean, look at this. Over the last 2 weeks, they've been the best team in the league. The best team in basketball. They are fucking annihilating opponents. So I said, in order to be slightly serious, I need to see a world, like a realistic world, where you win three straight series. Let's think about the Knicks. Okay, let's say they get the Cavs in round one. I could 100% see them winning that series. I saw what Brunson did to Donovan Mitchell just a year ago, right? Cooked him. I could definitely see them winning that series. All right, now let's say they get, who would they get in round two? The Celtics or the Bucks? Oh, I can't. I can't go that far. I can't go that far. God bless them. I just don't see a world. Maybe the Celtics. Honestly, they have handled the Celtics this year. They have handled the Celtics this season. Maybe they get the Celtics in round two, beat them, and then maybe they get lucky and somebody else, and then Philly takes care of the Bucks somehow, and they get Philly in round three. I'm talking myself into it. All right. I mean, the Knicks just beat up on the Celtics. Okay, all right. Round one. Knicks Cavaliers. That series could go either way. That's a toss-up. Probably would pick the Cavs, in all honesty. But I could 1,000% see the Knicks winning that series. All right, they move on. You don't have to convince me much there. Let's just assume the Celtics are the 1 seed. Can the Knicks beat the Celtics? Realistically. Like how much convincing do you need to think that the Knicks can beat the Celtics? Zero chance? Celtics sweep? Yeah, I agree. I'm keeping them here. As much as I would like to put them in series because I think it would be awesome. No. Pelicans, listen, I'll give the Clippers the benefit of the doubt with injuries. I'll give the Suns. I cannot give the Pelicans the benefit of the doubt with injuries at all. Is Zion even playing basketball again this season? If Tatum breaks his leg, maybe? Yeah. And they, by the way, they might not even make the play-in tournament. I might just throw them in here, actually. No, I'll put them in here because they are, if they're healthy, they're definitely a notch above these teams easily. Celtics are sweeping anybody in the first round. This is not up for debate. Oh, first round? Yeah, I don't know. 7-8? Who would you be scared of? Heat, maybe? I kind of agree, Smito. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I kind of think the Knicks could, like, obviously they wouldn't be the favorites. Obviously they would be massive underdogs. Obviously I would pick the Celtics in that series. But I wouldn't need too much convincing to think the Knicks could win the series. And then maybe you get lucky and the Sixers beat the Bucks somehow. Because I don't think the Knicks, no way they can beat the Bucks. But could they beat the Sixers? Huh? Julius Randle in the playoffs, true. Can I already see a game in which RJ Barrett shoots 3 of 26? Yes. I'm keeping him here. They just don't got it this year, do they? Here's the thing about the Heat. Out of any team in basketball, them and the Warriors, I 100% have faith in them to turn it on. Like, nobody believes in them heading into the playoffs, right? All of a sudden, they're in the conference finals, and you're just like, wait, what the fuck? 8-man roster? Yeah, but that's what you need in the playoffs, though. I mean, it's not like you're running 10-man rotations. The Heat, even in the last week or so, they've beaten great teams. They beat the Sixers. Who else did they beat? They just, like, show up and win games. We lost 4 straight. Oh, I'm thinking of a different team then. Am I thinking of the Sixers, who, like, played a bunch of good teams this week? That's right. That's right. The Heat have been struggling lately, actually, because Jimmy said, I'm tired of losing. Yeah, they're definitely fake. I don't know, though. Like, out of any team in the league outside of the Warriors, I do trust the Heat to turn it on. Like, again, you just blink and they're in the conference finals. And you're just like, wait, what the fuck? How did they end up here? How did the Heat end up in the conference finals? Oh, because Jimmy Butler's averaging 38 points on 23 free throws a night. And Bam Adebayo is averaging 3.5 blocks a game. And Max Strus remember how to shoot the basketball all of a sudden. And, oh my God, Kevin Love had that one game where he scored 34 points. Like, can you not see a world where that happens? Like, can you see a world where the Heat, it's like, oh my God, wait, the Heat beat the Sixers in 5? Am I crazy? They're definitely fake. Warriors are serious. As much as it would be funny to write them off, you cannot write them off. So they're serious. Celtics are obviously serious as well. Lakers are as fake as it fucking gets. Spurs have almost as many road wins as the Warriors. See, like, I literally, the Warriors could be 0-82 and somehow be grandfathered into the playoffs, and I would not want to play them. I don't know. I literally could not care less about what the Warriors have done in the regular season. If they're in the tournament, they are contenders through and through. They have yet to lose when Draymond, Klay, and Steph Curry were healthy in the playoffs. They have never lost a series in which those three were healthy. So, I'm not counting them out. Even if they're a playing team, I'm just not counting them out. That leaves the Cleveland Cavaliers. Probably the toughest team. Probably the toughest team. Mavs are not contenders? Oh, yeah, they're not. There's been a lot of stuff. Last year, Donovan Mitchell was statistically, I think, the worst clutch player in the sport. I think those numbers are very similar again this year. Defensively, though, This one's really tough. The top 10 in both offense and defense. That is a strategy. That's a method for success. I don't. But here's the thing, though. My logic was, how much convincing do I need to think a team can win 3 straight series? When it comes to the Cavs, honest to God, I need a lot. Like, I'm just being honest. I need a lot of convincing. I feel like a lot of things would have to go their way. I actually feel more confident in the Knicks damn near. Can the Mavs sign Mike Miller? Isn't he Oh, he's a head basketball coach at a high school. I thought that he was like working for a team or something. No, Clippers are here. Okay, let's just play a game. I have to move. Let's play a game. I have to move one team from this tier, from this slightly serious tier down. I have to move one team down. Which team do you guys think it is? The Sixers? Easy? 76ers? Warriors? Clippers? Wow, you guys really think the Sixers, huh? Out of all these teams, I'm not moving any of them down. Out of all these teams, I actually think I would probably move... You guys aren't going to like this. I think I'd probably move the Suns. We have not seen them play together, and there's less than 20 games left in the season. D-Book, KD, Chris Paul, all serious injury risks. And they have no depth. At least for the Clippers, I could say they are very deep. Honestly, sometimes maybe even too deep. How am I trolling with the Clippers? I've always been a believer in the Clippers. I think I picked them to win the finals again this season. I feel like I picked them to win the finals every single year. The last like 3 seasons. And no, I could definitely see wanting to move the Clippers down, by the way. I definitely get it. And the Sixers, I get it for both of them. It's just funny how the Golden State Warriors they've just been so dominant that nobody even mentioned them. It's like they're currently fighting for their lives just to make the play-in tournament. And it's just like, oh yeah, they're definitely contenders though. Low-key Nuggets are super unproven. No, I do agree. If the Nuggets have been dominant though this regular season, so. All right, if I had to move one team from this category into the contender category, who would it be? One team from this category into legitimate, serious contender. Lakers? Oh, Lakers down. Mavs? See, like the Grizzlies aren't even even in consideration for me. Okay, I know the Clippers are 0-3 with Russ, but it's not like they're getting their ass kicked. Like, they've played in 3 of the craziest fucking games. Cavs. Kings. I'm not going to lie. I'm thinking the Knicks. Grizzlies are the best team on this list, but they are just not built for the playoffs, it feels like. Right? Offensively, at least. Dude, I'm sipping the Knicks Kool-Aid, man. Defensively, they've been otherworldly. Offensively, Brunson is unreal. Julius Randle's been unreal. Mitchell Robinson is healthy. Like, if Tom Thibodeau got serious and sat RJ Barrett down and said, listen, man, you're trash. So you're going to be like the 9th guy in our rotation in the playoffs. And then I get more Josh Hart, who's a playoff player, I get more Emmanuel Quickly, playoff guy. I get more Quentin Grimes, playoff guy. Come on, man. I think the Knicks are good too, just like that guy, like a Luka or Kyrie. That's fair. Kings down, like experience. No, the Kings definitely belong in this tier. Put the Wolves in the bad tier. But man, if Brunson had a playoff run similar to the first 3 games of last year's postseason without Luka, I saved the bad. The bad tiers for teams that are like not even in play-in contention. All of these other teams are at least like in the play-ins or play-in contention. Like these teams are just not even in it. I wish you could do like a halfsy. I want to put the Knicks up here so bad. It is such a prisoner of the moment thing though. They are not in this tier. They are just not. Just posted a quick TikTok. Working on 2 more. Send it in here. You want to know something funny, B-Dot? People thought that The Watcher. That meme is fucking funny. This movie was great, by the way. What movie is it? Was it The Unbearable Weight of Fame? I don't know. It's a long title. But just a fun, incredible movie. No, J-Kid's not getting fired. Are you kidding me? Not right now, at least. I am adding a new tier. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. That's what it was. What the hell is going on? Put Mavs top tier? No. I want to put the Knicks in the serious tier so bad. But I know I shouldn't. That's good. I love this. I love this for us. I'm tweeting this out. Should I rank them within the tiers? I'm gonna rank them within the tiers. I'm gonna get really serious. The Bucks are number 1, followed by the Celtics. I do love the Knicks. Who would be have to be the Nuggets, right? I think I'm going to go King. I think I'm going to go Suns, actually. They have a higher ceiling, but a lower floor. A much higher ceiling and a lower floor. Is that fair? This is probably how I'd rate them. This is probably how I'd rate them. Suns 3rd, Nuggets 4th. Yeah. And the slightly fake tier. I think the Cavs have to be 1, right? I'll go Cavs. I think the Mavericks beat the Grizzlies in a series. Like, I'm just being honest. I legit think the Mavericks beat the Grizzlies, probably. Which bad teams can be slightly serious for the next 3 seasons? Well, I mean, if Wembanyama's anything that we think he is, probably all of these teams. Indiana, though, is probably the best suited out of these teams. Orlando. Indiana or Orlando. Houston's just a tire fire, but I could see them turning it around fast. Charlotte, they'd have to get Wembanyama. San Antonio, honestly, 3 years from now, if they get Wembanyama, I could see it. They've got a lot of interesting young guys. I love Devin Vassell. Love him. They could probably flip Keldon Johnson. I don't really know if he fits their timeline. Brandon was giving the Mavericks some buckets. He's going to be an interesting scorer. Sohan. You add like Wembanyama to that mix? There's like no teams in the league right now that feel completely and totally lost. Let's go Kings. I think the Kings probably beat the Mavericks. So I'm going to have to put them... let me just put the Grizzlies here to avoid any fucking... The Rockets do seem lost, but they have like legit young talent though. Bulls, yeah, the Bulls do seem kind of lost. Oh, the ranking in this tier is tough. I know Timberwolves and Lakers are the bottom 2 for me. Kings beat the Mavs in a playoff series? I think, yeah, I do. Did the Kings beat the Grizzlies in a playoff series? No. I think the Kings play right into the Grizzlies' hands. But I do think the Mavericks beat the Grizzlies in a playoff series. They have dominated that matchup. It's a good matchup for them, actually. Because you can slow the pace of the game down to a pulp, and that's what you do. That's what you do incredibly well, and that's what they do incredibly poorly. Whereas the Kings, they want to play fast. So you're playing right into the Grizzlies' hands. A healthy Pelicans team is at the top of this list, though, right? Are we in agreement on that? But I cannot. I will not give them the benefit of the doubt on injuries the way I'll give other teams. I just will not do it. Fuck it. I'll put the Mavericks here. I'll put the Heat here. This feels good. These teams, I mean, do we really feel like ranking these teams here? Like, who's the best team out of this bunch? In the playoffs? Who? I'm not ranking these. I'm not ranking these shit teams. I would say the way the Thunder have played lately, yes, but yeah, maybe Atlanta. Which team here has the best chance of getting the 8 seed in the play-in and actually roughing up, like making life scary for a 1 or 2 seed? Which of these teams? I could definitely see the Thunder. Shea's back. I could definitely see the Thunder making life a little bit scary. Portland too. I actually think Portland number 1. I just don't want to see Dame. Raptors for sure. Brooklyn, yeah. Brooklyn had like any type of offense. Then I think Atlanta maybe scares you a tiny bit. Scared's maybe the wrong word, but probably what I would go, something like this. I'll give Utah a tiny boost over Brooklyn. I don't think Brooklyn's good at all anymore. I'll give Utah a tiny boost over Brooklyn, just because if they make a playoff series and it's a 4-game, like their home crowd is intense in the playoffs. They're a young team with a chip on their shoulder. Their home crowd's crazy. Like, can't you guys see, like, let's see, they get the 8 seed, and all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, the Jazz, they're going up against the Nuggets. It's like, holy shit, this series is 2-1, and the Jazz are up by 8 points in the third quarter of game 4. I could see something like that happening. I'll probably put them ahead of the Wizards. I don't know, though. The Wizards are such a weird team. They've had so many stretches this season where they, like, look really good. I'll put the Wizards ahead of the Bulls, actually. I'm going to put the Jazz ahead of the Bulls are absolute ass. Why are we even... They're terrible. I'm actually putting the Bulls dead last in this list. I'll give Toronto some benefit because they do have a good defense, and they have Nick Nurse, and they have guys on that team who have won a championship. Portland, I just don't want to see. I don't want to see Dame. Thunder, young team who have been unbelievable. I'm actually gonna put the Thunder first. All right, I'm not ranking the bad teams, right? I'll probably go Houston last. No, San Antonio's last. Then Houston. Then Charlotte. Well, with LaMelo with a broken ankle now, I mean, it doesn't really matter. Both these teams are terrible. Probably what I would go. Indiana and Orlando, interchangeable. I'm not ranking the bad teams, but this is probably how I would do it if I did. Then I proceed to rank the bad teams. I'm not gonna rank the bad teams, but if I did rank them, this is probably how I would do it. All right, let me tweet this out. I'm interested to see what the Twitter sphere has to say about this one. One thing I will say I love about my Twitter now, I am followed by a lot of non-Mavs fans now. So my non-Mavs takes get out there. It's been a great stream so far. I do love, I like streams like this, which is why, you know, we do streams like this in the off season and shit. But then I was just thinking, I was like, why don't we just do these in the regular season again? Like, realistically speaking, ranked the how should I word this? Ranked the contenders and pretenders today on stream. What do you guys think? Tiers are the teams. Teams are ranked within the tiers, by the way. All right. Skin Wade about to come after you for what? Look, this is aggressive putting the Mavericks here. But I'm literally looking at this thinking, I think they beat the Grizzlies in a series. I do think they kind of beat the Kings. Yeah, Kyrie and Luka are far and away the best duo out of any team here. Like, not even remotely close. And Luka's also the best player in this tier by a fucking lot. Like, by like 2 tiers. Luka's a tier 1A player. Who's the best player in this tier besides him? LeBron, AD, healthy Zion, maybe. Playoff Jimmy. Actually, honestly, probably playoff Jimmy. Playoff Jimmy is the best player not named Luka in this tier. Wolves, Cavs, Grizzlies too young. I just don't love Memphis's playoff like, I just don't love their game in a postseason setting at all. Like, they were lucky to beat. I'll give them this. They played the Warriors kind of competitively, but I also don't like, they were lucky to make it out of the first round last year, dude. Like, the Timberwolves were like actively trying to lose games. The Timberwolves were in control of pretty much every game in that series besides one. And they like legitimately lost that. Like, they just wanted to lose. It was I couldn't believe it. The Nuggets and the Suns one is really tough. I mean, the thing with we haven't seen Kevin Durant play yet. But it's also just like, we know who Kevin Durant is. I don't see how it wouldn't be a flawless fit. He does everything that the Suns like doing. They love mid-range jump shots. They move the ball. It does kind of feel like a slap in the face to the Nuggets, who have been really good all year, to put the Suns over them for sure. We have a great young big as well. Biyombo's not young. He's been good this season, though. If it comes down to Warriors versus Bucks in the finals, it would be Bucks in 5. I think the Bucks are the best team in the league, pretty easily. They've won. They know what it takes to win. Oh, Jock Landale. Oh. He's all right. Oh, Ayton. Yeah, Milwaukee's Milwaukee's on a 15-game winning streak, man. I don't know if the Bucks will annihilate the East. A Bucks and Celtics rematch. I mean, that series last year was really fucking good too. I'm just hoping we get a good postseason. Last year's playoffs had to be the strangest postseason I have seen in a long time. Pretty much no competitive games. No competitive games. The first round had some fun competitive games. Second round, you had the amazing Mavs-Sun series. The only problem is, it was a 7-game series where there was not a single close game. Every game was a blowout. Same thing with the Celtics in the Bucks series. That series went 7. Felt like every game was a blowout. You don't know shit about basketball? Your games are ridiculous? What do you mean? What do you not agree with? Mavs would be slightly serious with a starting center. Do you get nervous when Mavs dominate in the first quarter? No, I'm like completely numb. I need you guys to understand. Like, I'm like literally completely numb at this point. After the last game's the best duo is Tatum Brown. Tatum Brown definitely probably the best duo. Yeah, if Chris Middleton was good. OTW, I want to know which take you think is terrible. You can't come in here and say terrible takes and then not expand on that. Want to open up Biased FM? I'm about to end the stream. I need to download. I don't have Discord on my computer right now. I need to download it. I always forget. I think you could argue the Mavericks are worse than Portland. The thing is, the Portland are a 12 seed, man. Or whatever it is, an 11 seed. I feel like it's a little bit hypocritical to have the Lakers here and then the Portland Trailblazers here. Luke and Kyrie are the most talented backcourt of all time. They're up there for sure. Tatum Brown or Giannis Holiday. See, I was thinking, is Giannis Drew a better duo? But I don't know how to describe it. Like, whenever I think of duos, I don't really think Giannis and Drew. I think Tatum and Jaylen Brown because I don't know how to describe it. I don't know how to put it into words. Like, Giannis and Drew might be the best, like, number 1 player and number 2 player pairing this season. I don't know. Drew's been so fucking good this year. Giannis has been better than Tatum, obviously. You could definitely make the argument that Drew has been close to or better than Jaylen Brown. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird calling them a duo, though. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. You cannot argue Drew's better than Jaylen. This season only, there's probably an argument you can make for sure. I don't get why they gave Marcus Smart Defensive Player of the Year as a guard, but not Drew. Yeah, Marcus Smart did not deserve that shit last year. And it did leave a weird taste in everyone's mouth because it's like, wait, so Drew Holiday's never won one? Who's like been over the last decade like widely considered probably the best perimeter defender in the league the whole time. Bro, the Bucks team is old. They are old, but this isn't a future rankings. This is who can win a championship this year. All the season awards last year were goofy as hell. Marcus Smart literally came out and said, hey, I want to win Defensive Player of the Year. And all the Boston media people were like, yeah, he should do it. And then everyone was like, all right, fine. Like, that's literally what it was like. Everyone was like, all right, sure, fine. That's what you want. Yeah, Jaren Jackson, unless, knock on glass, he like misses the rest of the season, is running away with Defensive Player of the Year. Like, it's not even going to be close. Oh, yeah, the Ja Most Improved. I forgot about that one. That one was terrible, too. This year it'll make more sense though. It's gonna be marketing, which that's like exactly how it should be. Yeah, Brogdon. I think. Hold on. Is there NBA awards betting odds? Are these things updated? NBA MVP. So right now, Jokic is like the overwhelming favorite to win the MVP. Minus 350. Jesus. There's some like, that's plus 650 for Embiid is some pretty legit value, honestly. I think Brogdon should win 6-man. 100%. I mean, Giannis at plus 1100 is pretty crazy too. Jokic really running away with this? Yeah, he really is. Which, I mean, he's been amazing. All right, let's see. Rookie of the Year, it's Paolo, right? Oh, yeah. It's not even remotely close. Although, I will say, like, the thing, here's how Rookie of the Year works. Because most of these guys are on teams that nobody watches past December because they're terrible. If you have, like, a good first month of the season, or first 2 months of the season, you're winning the award. Like, it's over. You have won the award. Very, very, very rarely will a guy, like, come out of nowhere in the back half of the season and pull one out. It's got to be Paolo, but he's kind of been struggling lately. And, like, Kessler's got a legit argument, I think. Kessler has, like, a legitimate case. Jaden Ivey's been really good, too, lately. But, again, they just, like, that's how Rookie of the Year works. I think Paolo definitely deserves it, by the way. That's how it was last year, too. Like, Cade was amazing in the back half of the season for a rookie. Jaren Jackson, I mean, this is good value for Jaren Jackson. Minus 190. That's kind of crazy that Jokic is a way bigger favorite for MVP instead of Jaren Jackson for Defensive Player of the Year. When I don't even think this is close. No, Draymond's not getting this. Brook Lopez, you are literally pissing away money. Levi's, we need you to make a 2K Pro-Am team. I'm so trash at 2K. I'm like really bad at it. The thing is, like, I don't know any of the metas, and it's just like, nor do I want to learn it. The way that you win in 2K is just by being a fucking idiot. But I do enjoy playing it though. Paolo hype is so low because of Wemby. He's averaging 20 as a rookie. No, Paolo's been great. Paolo has been tremendous. He deserves the Rookie of the Year. He's going to win it. He's got all the tools of a superstar. He just needs to put it all together. But anyways, Jaren Jackson should be like minus 1,000. He's winning this shit, and it's not even going to be close. Most improved. Do they even have odds of this? Markkanen's minus 300. SGA, Brunson, Halliburton. See, this is how it should be. Oh, God. Good work, guys. Embarrassing loss. I hope you're all so fucking embarrassed. I cannot stand you guys. I really can't. Let's just fast forward to the playoffs. Get this shit over with. Yeah. And reassess in the offseason. Please. Please. If I had a time machine. Oh, my God. If I had a time machine, that is what I would do. Oh, 4 of your last 5, and your only win is against the Spurs. And guess what? That game was like an 8-point game in the fourth quarter at one point. Only a 9-point game, man. These guys. How the fuck do you lose this one, man? Turn the lights out. Unplug. Yeah, it's still unplugged. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one, B-Dot. That one is funny. Way more tame than I expected. People have been getting on my case lately saying I've been doing too much. That doesn't even seem like a lot to me at all. Jaws in serious trouble? Yeah, we talked about it earlier. I don't trust the odds. They put Caruso ahead of Giannis. Yeah, I saw that. I don't understand that either. That Mavericks really did travel in time to see the Mavs get eliminated by the Lakers playing? Oh, God. Can you imagine? Dario Saric was doing a really good job defending Giannis in 2021. That is actually true. That is not even a troll. That is actually true. All right, peace out, Fox. Thanks for the stream. Hope to see more afternoon streams. Oh, I'll be live on Friday for sure. I haven't because I hate paywalls to read articles, but have you read the article about Maxi Kleber's recovery? No, I have not. Who was it in the Dallas Morning News, I'm guessing? Suns would have won the finals if Sarge didn't get injured in game 3. I mean, that's Suns fans believe that. And I mean, he was playing really good. He was legitimately good in that playoff run. Unfortunately, that injury just kind of fucked him. He's just not that guy anymore. Wasn't like a great player anyways, but you streaming the Mavs game tomorrow? If my softball games get rained out, which seems incredibly likely. Let's see. 80% chance of rain tomorrow. Like, there's just no way. But this is what the most improved player of the year should look like. I mean, this feels like easy money. At this point in the season, are they even still taking bets on these? Because, like, go ahead and put some money down on Markkanen. I know the odds are it's minus 300, but he's winning. Like, there's just no way anybody else wins. Jaren Jackson, defensive player of the year. No way anyone else wins. Paolo, rookie of the year. No way anybody else wins. 6-man. All right, the last time I checked on this, Russ was still the favorite. Yeah, Brogdon's winning that shit. Shea is close to Lowry. See, the thing about Shea winning most improved is Shea's always been good. You know, Markkanen's legitimately... Markkanen went from somebody who... Maybe this was like dumb on my part in retrospect, but I didn't even have Markkanen. I was looking at this. I didn't have Markkanen in my top 100 player list entering the season. And now he's been like a top 25 player in the league just based off this season alone. Whereas Shea has always been like a top 30, top 40 guy if you really paid attention and followed Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. That series was great, man. That, like, last year's playoffs just really did not give us great series. That Suns-Bucks series was fucking awesome. That was such a great series. That Suns-Clippers series was a lot of fun. Clippers-Jazz was a lot of fun. Mavs-Clippers was fun, even though the Mavs lost. Who would make better teams? The players from all the California or Texas State NBA teams? I would have to say Cali, right? Who's from Texas? Hey, don't sleep on the Ohio team. You get Steph and LeBron immediately. Dallas is a 3.5-point favorite? No. You are kidding. I don't see that. You can't. Yeah, you cannot fool me. Hold on. There probably are, because the Sixers don't play tonight, right? Oh, the Sixers do play tonight. Oh, that's why. Okay, Mavericks are getting the Sixers on the second night of back-to-back. The Sixers are playing the Heat, so they would take this game more seriously, you would think, right? You would think. So that's probably why, if you're seeing that. And Embiid still has that foot injury, so maybe he doesn't play. I don't know how you watch Mavs games. Are terrible. Have you been around the streams lately? It's not been enjoyable. Bucks 76ers on Saturday. All right, so the Mavericks actually might luck into something tomorrow night. They play the Heat. The Sixers play the Heat tonight. They probably want to take that game seriously. Then the Mavericks tomorrow, and then this Bucks on Saturday. They actually might not see Embiid tomorrow night. I would say that's actually a pretty fucking good chance Embiid does not play tomorrow night. They're just sandbagging for the documentary. They want the 30 for 30 to be as good as possible. I don't know though. If Embiid wants to make a push for MVP, tomorrow is a game to do it. Doc's probably talking to Embiid like, "Hey, listen, man, against Dwight Powell and Christian Wood and those guys, you could easily put up 100 points. Like, we can make it happen." You know, there's been a lot of talk lately, actually, after Dame's 71 points, that Kobe's 82 is going to get passed up sometime soon, and that Wilt's 100 might get passed up. We can do it tomorrow night with you. Chances roof leaks tomorrow. Thankfully, the game is in Philly. So 0. If it were in Dallas, oh yeah, the roof would maybe even come down. You say he's annoying, but he said one of the most iconic lines in finals history. Wait, who? Oh, Mike Breen. Mike Breen. Mike Breen's incredible. Who doesn't like Mike Breen? Like, tomorrow's game is in Dallas. Oh, whoops, my bad. Damn, this literally this whole time I thought this game was in Philly. Oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense then. Why the Mavericks should be favorites. Oh yeah, the roof's gonna be fucked. Give us some prize picks, Locks. You don't want to hear my prize picks. Okay, it's been rough, to say the least. Away back-to-back after playing a tough team like the Heat, scheduled loss. Yeah, maybe, actually. All right. Well, no excuses for the Mavericks then. Like, I thought tomorrow was for sure going to be a loss. There's actually no excuse to lose tomorrow night's game then. Absolutely none. God, can you imagine if they beat... I don't even want to fucking go there. Start, bench, cut, Powell, McGee, Wood. Oh, nice. My 3 favorite players ever. Let's go with start. Last year, your prize picks were on fire, and I was going to mimic you this year. By the way, hey, I'm a playoff performer in prize picks. I come alive during the postseason. Mavs will surprise us all, and the dumb sports media and the POs. Mark my words. We'll go to the finals. And also, guys, buy my hentai game. Jesus. Let's just start JaVale McGee. Let's bench Dwight Powell. Let's cut Dwight Wood or Christian Wood. All right. If the Mavericks play, if I don't have a softball game tomorrow, which there's just no way I will stream the game tomorrow night. You guys will know. You guys will know in advance. I'll have the like live stream schedule up. Whatever you want to call that thing. The page. The pre-stream page up like an hour before tip-off if I'm streaming. If a miracle happens and it doesn't rain tomorrow, well, then I will not be streaming tomorrow night's game. And then if that's the case, the next time you guys will see me will be Friday afternoon, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. So anytime the Mavericks don't play anymore on weekdays, I will do day streams. They're just fun. I just like them. Just talk about basketball. And not want to rip my fucking hair out because the Mavericks are doing embarrassing shit. All right. Thank you guys for coming out. It was a fun stream today. All of the OGs, you guys know I love you very much. Could have spent your Wednesday afternoon anywhere in the world. You decided to spend it here. New subscribers, I promise you guys will not regret it. We stream regularly. Don't have like a concise schedule right now, but it'll get there. Members, donations, thank you guys so much. You never have to do that. But it helps me out tremendously. It makes me feel so good. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. I will 99% see you tomorrow night. If not, then I'll see you Friday. Love you guys. Bye.